Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokémon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we did everything we could in the Sevii Island, specifically finishing up Birth Island, the last event island, catching Deoxys, and having the only Hoenn Pokemon we've seen, technically, in the Pokedex now, and I think Deoxys is either the last or the second to last Pokemon in the Hoenn Dex, which means, like, I can just do it this way. Once we get to Johto, like, yeah, there's a lot in here because there's a lot of Johto Pokemon in the Sevii Islands, but then Hoenn is, like, completely empty until all of a sudden at the very end, Deoxys is there, which I think is very funny. Anyway, this time, we are going to be heading to Cerulean Cave, since we've definitely accomplished something great in driving off Team Rocket and becoming the champion, so let's go do what we are now entitled to do. Here we are. Before heading in, you're gonna want a Pokemon with Rock Smash, because unfortunately, yes, they did change this dungeon to include Rock Smash rocks. Because even the dungeons that didn't have Rock Smash need to have Rock Smash. I agree, Game Freak, good choice. Alright, let's head in. Cerulean Cave. So, the layout here is entirely different, again. Its layout in FireRed and LeafGreen is based on the Japanese Pokemon Red and Green's layout, with added Rock Smash rocks, of course. So the Lost is going to be very helpful here. You might be more familiar with this, like, layout or less, depending on which Pokemon games you've played, because this also appears in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, with the exception of the top floor in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee being less of a pain in the ass. Kadabra can appear here. This is our first opportunity to see Kadabra anywhere, so let's go over it now. Kadabra evolves through trading into a Pokemon that's objectively better in every way. Let's talk about Alakazam instead. Out of all the special sweepers in the game, almost none have so many options open to it as Alakazam. Alakazam can obviously set up with Calm Mind, allowing it to hit hard with Psychic and certain hidden powers, and it gets Recover on top of that to restore its health. It also learns Trick, which you can use to trap opponents with the Macho Brace, slowing them significantly to allow for Alakazam to set up. Now, unfortunately, that's about all I can say for Alakazam in FireRed and LeafGreen. It does get the Elemental Punches from a move tutor in Pokemon Emerald's post-game, but that's Pokemon Emerald's post-game. Alakazam is great, don't get me wrong. Even without setup, it can one-shot most opponents with Psychic, and it does get moves like Thief and Shockwave for coverage. The issue is really just that those moves are so weak, and it just doesn't have the variety it used to. Alakazam's bulk is also still tragically non-existent. Even specially, 85 isn't that good. Alakazam is just unfortunately not as good as it used to be here. I do find it a little disappointing that the variety in the Pokemon that appear here is so, like, dampened compared to the original Red, Blue, and Yellow. Like, it made this place feel a lot cooler that you could find, like, stone evolutions, especially Wigglytuff, who you otherwise couldn't get if you used up all the Moonstones that appear in the game. As much as I, you know, will always and forever not be Wigglytuff's biggest fan, it was cool to see a Pokemon there that was technically limited in the amount you can get in any one copy. Rhydon too, there was Venomoth, and just a bunch of other Pokemon that don't appear here anymore. I don't know if it's because of restrictions and the way wild encounters work in this version of the game or what, but I don't know. It is just a little sad. Can find Pokemon at almost level 60 here though, that's why I'm not bothering to spray a Repel, because it's not really going to make a difference. Hello, Parasect. Okay, Parasect at almost level 50 is pretty good, because you can just get Spore on that right away. Also has a pretty good chance of holding a big mushroom, which, you know, those are good. This top floor, I cannot stand. So I'm pretty sure the required path doesn't have any Rock Smash rocks in the way, at least. It does have that going for it. But getting all of the items is locked behind having a Rock Smash user. And I just find that so annoying. Level 65 almost ditto, okay. I'm gonna stop, like, wasting Gaster's PP trying to fight everything I come across here, but... yeah. This area is pretty annoying now. I think FireRed and LeafGreen's postgame especially struggle a little bit with giving you the, like, necessary experience points in order to actually accomplish everything they expect you to accomplish. Because I want to be able to use a max repel here. Like, I want that to be able to have an effect. But they did not give me enough experience points to have any of my Pokemon at nearly as high a level as the wild Pokemon in this cave. They just straight up don't, unless you're growing out of your way to grind, which is my least favorite thing in older Pokemon games, is just how much it seems like they expect you to either grind or just manage. Just all you will be permitted is the struggle. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's an old Pokemon game, so it just kind of comes with the territory, unfortunately. Nugget here. Good selling item. And this, I think, is the last ladder, so maybe the required path actually does require Rock Smash, which sucks. As far as... why are you level 47, dude? The required path does have Rock Smash, and I don't think there's any hidden items at any of these dead ends, so don't worry about that at least. Okay, I'm gonna spray repels anyway. That should at least skip encounters that, like, are too low leveled. This was not the required path. Okay. Awesome. I'm not a huge fan of this layout for Cerulean Cave, and I'm being completely honest here. I think this is kind of the most annoying layout the cave has ever had, so it's a little bit of a shame that this is the one they brought back, but I understand why. These are primarily meant to be remakes of Red and Green, not any other Kanto game, so they are just doing what they, like, set out to do. I just think what they set out to do is annoying. Yeah, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee actually had the best version of Cerulean Cave, just in that it's not a pain in the ass to get through. This is definitely the right ladder. I just didn't find it. And it doesn't look like there are any Rock Smash rocks here, so... hey, I wasn't lying at all, actually. I'm always right. Sorry if my voice seems a little strained or raspy. I am recovering from a cold, but... I've been trying to be able to record all week, and I've been too sick and working, and Deltarune came out, and I had to play through all of that so I could avoid spoilers to get back on social media. It's just been one thing after another. I haven't been able to record it all this week. It's finally the weekend. I'm not letting this chance slip me by, even if I'm still a little bit under the weather. What about this path? I know the required one isn't gonna have Rock Smash rocks, but, like, at least a hidden item if you're gonna make me waste my time using Rock Smash. Come on. The worst part of this is genuinely that this cave did not have any obstructions like this whatsoever in Red and Green. I understand, like, oh, well, without the Rock Smash rocks, at least you know when you're going on the required path. Sure, but it's also fucking annoying. Like, just change the layout completely at that point. Make this a more interesting dungeon than just, oh, it's a big maze. Like, I don't know. I think mazes are annoying when you aren't warned that they're going to be mazes. And I don't think the first floor of Cerulean Cave does a good job of telling you that this is going to be a maze. And even if it did, in a Pokemon game, I'm not playing it to go through a big maze. Okay, finally made it to the basement at least. This is where Mewtwo is. So, we're on the right floor now. Gone through 4 Super Repels so far. I still only buy Super Repels because they're the most cost effective. I don't really see the point of Rock Smash at all in Generation 3. At least, definitely not in this game. Because they just sort of arbitrarily added it because, oh, well, the Ruby and Sapphire have it, even though, I mean, they didn't add Dive. So why are Waterfall and Rock Smash required to be in this game and not Dive? I'm sorry if I'm bitching a lot, but I do not like this dungeon at all. Any day now, we'll be at the end, though. Oh! Hello! I forgot you appear here now. Yeah, they added Wobbuffet here for some fucking reason, even though they removed almost every other thing that appears here. We can't run from Wobbuffet. And we can't switch out, which is a big problem. If we use Shadow Ball and it uses counter, we lose. But it's our best option. Destiny Bond. Okay, I'll take it. We're faster. I'll still take it. Even if it's gonna take us down, I don't care. I can use a revive. It's better that than letting you get the benefit of using counter on Gaster. It does suck that it takes you down before it gives you the experience points, though. Honestly, I like the idea of Wobbuffet appearing in here, but what a dick move. Wobbuffet definitely fits the vibe of Cerulean Cave, if nothing else. But that's just... what? It's just there as a fuck you. And of course it appeared right before we reached Mewtwo's little island, too. As with all legendary Pokemon, I recommend you save before engaging. Alright. Saving. Okay. Who do I want to lead with here? Honestly, I think Gaster. It has Psychic, it could easily one-shot him, but on the off chance we get to use Shadow Ball even once, I think that'll be worth it. Alright, let's do this. Mewtwo is as devastating now as ever. A special attack stat of 154 paired with a speed stat of 130 puts it only second to Deoxys' attack form as a Speedy Sweeper, with the added benefit that Mewtwo's defenses don't suffer in nearly the same way. Mewtwo gets all the special attacks you'd want from a good special sweeper. Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Calm Mind, Psychic, and hell, it can even explode with self-destruct if it's threatened. Mewtwo's attack stat isn't half bad either, opening it up to be used as a physical attacker using Bulk Up, Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Substitute, and Focus Punch, if that sounds funny to you. This isn't even mentioning its capacity to stall opponents with Toxic, Recover, and Taunt. Mewtwo's as diverse as it is powerful, and there's very little that's capable of checking it at all in single player. Now in multiplayer, Mewtwo needs to watch out for a lot of Pokemon. Snorlax, Deoxys' attack and defense forms, Ho-Oh, basically any revenge killers, Heracross, but that's getting a little bit outside the scope of this bio. For single player purposes, Mewtwo is flawless. They dreamed of creating the most powerful Pokemon, and they sort of succeeded. Alright. I should have brought Lamp so I could try to bait it into killing her with Psychic, but we're a little late on that now. We already made it through the entire dungeon without her, so we will just Shadow Ball it. I'm fine with it using Safeguard. That doesn't mean we can't paralyze it with Thunderbolt or anything, but Gaster's going down this turn anyway, so who cares? Yeah, Mewtwo is still devastating, so I'll do my best here, but it's going to one-shot almost all my Pokemon. half anticipating this being the battle where I finally use the Master Ball, but there is a better place to use it, and a place where I would rather use it, and I might want to save it until then. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is what I mean by them not giving you enough chances to get experience points, by the way. At least with Ho-Oh and Lugia, their only attacking move that wasn't, like, swift was inaccurate. Mewtwo's only attacking move that isn't swift, it gets stab and is completely accurate and can only miss if you lower its accuracy. Oh no! This isn't going well. Okay, use Safeguard again, dude. Go for it. I don't care. If only Umi still had Bite. Okay, that was pretty good damage. I'm gonna just start throwing balls now, because it's going to destroy my team. Okay. Yeah, I was very, like, ill-prepared for this, but, like, what other option did I have? 2 shakes right away is pretty good, though. Keep using Safeguard, please. That's very convenient for me. 1, 2, 3? Okay, well... Oh, at least Umi can take a Psychic. I think he's the only member of the team who can, but I'm glad he can. 1. Why am I getting so many shakes? Okay, Umi's down. Hiket's absolutely gonna go down in 1 hit, so... Here's hoping, I guess. Not even 1. Swift, okay. Hiket can take a Swift. I almost said emphasis on the A in that sentence, but no, it could take 2. It could honestly take like 5, probably. As long as none of the rest of them are crits. Okay, yeah, I could take like 4 more of those. So I'll just keep throwing balls. 1, 2. Ah! Just keep using Swift, I'm begging you. I'm not asking, I'm begging. I feel like I've said that before during like a legendary Pokemon encounter. I'm not asking, I'm begging is something that a friend said once in like the most just pathetic tone of all time, and it's stuck with me. Like, it's gonna be stuck with me forever. It's like, please, I'm not asking, I'm begging. It was so incredibly pathetic, and I love them dearly. But, oh my god. Just the most pathetic. Okay. The Lost, I think you got this. While I quickly check if I have a max revive. I thought I passed one, but I didn't. Oh, I do! I don't know where I picked up a max revive, but I do have one. Probably in this cave, actually, I picked up a max revive. I think Umi would be the best to heal up since he can take a Psychic. Yes, waste Psychic PP on the Lost. I'm fine with that. Okay. Mewtwo is definitely a lot trickier to get around in this, like, particular game, at least. In Generation 1, it was kind of a cakewalk, just because, like, the special stat was different and easier to work with on a bunch of different Pokemon, including ones on my team. I'm pretty sure Ryan could have tanked a Psychic in Generation 1. But also, just in general, like, you could freeze a legendary and you'd have automatically a 20% chance of catching them, so... It's a lot easier in Generation 1. There is our first loss to Mewtwo. Okay. I don't know if there's a soft reset in this game. Yeah, there's not. So I have to restart the entire console every time. Oh yeah, it has recover too, by the way. It was just taking mercy on me in the first attempt by not using it. I wish it would do that some more. But nope. It was not meant to be. I think it's just spamming recover now. Yup. Fucking love 10 PP recover. I love it so much. 2. This is not gonna work if, like, every attempt I only have, like, 2 or 3 chances to even throw a Pokeball at it. 1. Oh my god! Stop it! You know what? Fuck this Max Revive. If there was ever a time to use a Sacred Ash, it's during the... You can't use it in battle, of course. Okay. I wasn't aware that you couldn't use the Sacred Ash in battle. But I guess that makes sense. So that's the issue with timer balls in this game, is like your chances of staying alive against a legendary Pokemon long enough to use a timer ball are very, very slim at best. So Ultra Balls just end up being better so much of the time. Maybe it wants a Nest Ball. The Ring of Hearts is very funny. I wish that worked. This is gonna be the last, like, turn of this attempt coming up, so... Here's hoping on this timer ball. 1, 2, 3. I thought it was gonna make me eat the words that I just said about timer balls, but nope. Timer balls are useless. Okay, I'm leading with Gaster again. This time I'm gonna go for Thunderbolt right away. I'm fine with it using Recover right away. Idiot. I want to try to paralyze it if I can. Okay, Gaster. Thanks, buddy. That's my GOAT, dude. He doesn't even need to use Metronome to be the world champion. This guy just rules. Okay, well, we have it in a pretty good position for throwing balls now, so I'll take that early on. I will. I don't think Safeguard will heal off its paralysis either, so we're pretty set here. As long as it just keeps using Dear God anything other than Psychic. Okay, finally used Psychic after about, like, 9 turns. That took a while. I'm really starting to question why I didn't bring along Lamp, who has the highest special defense on the team. Maybe tied with Umi, but still. Like, they both have high special defense. Umi should not be the one who has to take the brunt of all of Mewtwo's attacks. 1, 2. Okay. You know, this is at least a little more, like, satisfying than Ho-Oh and Lugia, because I'm getting a hell of a lot more shakes out of it. Of course you get a fucking crit as soon as you're able to hit with Psychic. Okay. New idea. I don't think Rhine's hidden power will kill. Rhine should be faster now. So... that. Alright, we have it down to red. It's not using Recover. This is good. Do you want a Nest Ball now? No, you don't. Is it the hearts? I don't think it's a fan of the hearts. Alright, timer ball time. 1, 2. I knew it was coming, but it's still infuriating. 1. And now it's gonna one-shot with Psychic. I love 3 out of 255 catch rates. I'm so disappointed that they stopped giving 3 out of 255 catch rates to Pokemon. Why would they do that? It's not annoying at all. In fact, it makes it more satisfying. Okay, first turn paralysis again. I'll take it. 1, 2, 3. It was almost the first ball on this attempt. Oh my god. One. Okay. One, 2, 3. Yes! Third ball on this attempt. This was like the 8th attempt because it kept using either Recover on the first turn, or Psychic on the first turn, or Safeguard on the first turn, and I could never paralyze it. Oh my god. Third ball on like my 8th attempt. It was created by scientists after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments. 6'7". I feel like I know someone who's taller. 269 nice pounds. We don't nickname these things around these parts. Okay, my notes say to use an escape rope and head to the first PC I can find, so that is what I will do. Alright, let's see Mewtwo. Brave Nature. I am not sure what that does. I will check right now. It increases attack and decreases speed. That's pretty awful, but it explains a lot about why its attack is higher than its speed. I mean, it's not the worst. This Mewtwo would definitely be better at using Substitute and Focus Punch than any special attacks, though. I mean, it wouldn't be better at it, but might as well if you're gonna have low speed, is what I mean. Anyway, that's 4 legendaries. Well, 3 legendaries and a mythical. Made some good progress on catching things. With that, that's everything in both Kanto and the Sevi Islands, right? Except for the Pokemon League rematch, at least. No, actually. Next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we begin tracking yet another legendary Pokemon that began roaming after handing the Sapphire off to Celio. See you guys then.